Good morning, internet. I hope you are all having a lovely day. Now, I'm a fairly typical student in that I never have any money to buy anything ever. Seriously, for like the last 2 weeks, I've been living off nothing but lentils and rice. And this unfortunate state of affairs led me to the conclusion a few months ago that I needed to just get a job. I didn't really want to get one because I'm at uni and I just wanted to dedicate my time to my work, but it was an inevitability and I had to go around town handing my CVs in to various places, asking if they were looking for any part-time work. One of the interviews that stood out to me the most was Urban Outfitters. So this video is going to be talking a little bit about that experience. So let me just quickly set the scene. I was lying in bed one day and I got a call and I didn't know who it was from. It was an unknown number. So I answered and it was someone from Urban Outfitters saying that they'd seen my CV and they would like to have me in for a group interview on a certain date. And they asked me over the phone to tell them when my availability was over the Christmas period. So I told them that I couldn't work Christmas Eve or Boxing Day because my family live in London and it's a long way to travel from Cardiff to London. That was just going to be too difficult. And over the phone, they were like, yeah, that's fine. No problem at all. They wrote it down on my CV. And then they told me to come in for the interview. I set off for the interview. I'd made quite a lot of effort into putting on the most sort of urban outfittery clothes that I had. So edgy, man. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever been to an Urban Outfitters interview before, but they're done in groups and you go in and stand around really awkward huddle waiting for the people to come along and talk to you. And they ask you to bring in one item of significance to you and to explain to the group why this is significant. Now that, I think, is quite interesting. It's a good way of understanding someone's personality and their background. I brought in my item of significance. In case anyone's interested, it was a picture of Gloucester Cathedral I have hung up in my studio. Now, the second bit of the interview was the bit that actually sort of pissed me off a bit. So they split us up into groups of 3 or 4, and then they gave us a nice colourful bit of card and a pen, got us to sit in our little groups, and said, if you were on a desert island, what 10 items would you bring with you? Oh, for fuck's sake. Why is that relevant? What is that gonna teach you about people? It's not, if we were doing this individually, I could understand maybe they're trying to look at how well people can think and, I don't know, there'll be some bullshit reason why they are doing this. I mean, you only really need one item, don't you? A fucking satellite phone. So they're just hearing a list of 10 things that people would bring to a desert island. And obviously, because it's Urban Outfitters, everyone's just saying like, oh, I'd bring a vinyl player, man, and I'd bring my music. And it's like, no, you wouldn't. You'd bring a fucking power generator, some food, a satellite phone, and a knife. So that really shouldn't have annoyed me as much as it did, but it was frustrating. I put lots of effort into researching the company, and I was trying to take it seriously. And I was really, really nervous. I was expecting them to at least ask one proper question, you know, even if it was just like, why do you want to work here? I have this theory, though, about why it's also vague, and I think it's because with an interview that's as vague as that, they don't need to worry about having to justify not hiring people. I don't know if Urban Outfitters do this, but I know that Abercrombie and Finch do. It would also make it easy for them to tell who is sort of objectively good looking and who isn't. So I left the interview like, oh, well, that was great. I really felt proud of the effort I'd been able to contribute to that interview. Anyway, so we haven't even got to the crux of the story. At the end of the interview, they said they would be in contact within the next sort of few days to a week if you'd got the position. They also said that they might be in contact if you haven't got the position, but it's likely that if you don't get it, there will just be no correspondence, was the exact wording used, which I think is really, really, really unprofessional, and I can't stand companies that do this. There weren't that many people interviewing. It takes so little time to just send an email. If you don't want to talk to them on the phone, that's fine. Just send people an email. Getting a job is really, really important for a lot of people. And you want to know if you haven't got it, because then you can continue looking for other jobs. It's just kind of keeping people waiting indefinitely. It's just really unprofessional. So I left. A few days later, I got a call and they told me that they would like to offer me the position of a Christmas temp at Urban Outfitters. And that was cool. It wasn't the job I really wanted, but it's a job. And that's great, especially in this current economic climate. You can't complain if you get given a job. They went through some details, told me the date for my induction and to bring in my passport, all the usual boring stuff. And I was thinking this whole time, I bet they've forgotten that I told them that I couldn't work Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. So I thought, I'll just remind them about this because it's probably quite important that they know. I don't want them to hire me under the assumption that I can work days that I can't. Even though I have already told them this, I did say before when you called me for the interview that I can't work on Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. And I just wanted to remind you of that, and I hope that that's not a problem. And then there was this long, long pause on the other end of the phone. And I was just in my head like, oh, And the woman said, right, that might be a bit of an issue. Those 2 days are fairly essential to the work schedule of Urban Outfitters over Christmas. Let me just put you on hold for a second. I was on hold for literally half a second. Like, there was no time between me being put on hold and then being taken off hold for her to talk to someone else. Hi Tom, unfortunately those 2 days are really crucial to the Urban Outfitters workforce over Christmas, so we are going to have to withdraw our offer of employment to you. For fuck's sake, come on, like, literally hired and fired in the same phone conversation. In hindsight, it doesn't matter. I didn't want to work there and I've got a much better job now. But I don't know, maybe I'm just being a whiny little bitch. Probably. If anyone who works at Urban Outfitters watches this, then I'm sure it's a lovely place to work. It's just, the interview was really annoying. Yeah, so that's that. I hope that this has given you an insight into what Urban Outfitters job interviews are like. So anyway, there you go. If any of you have any interesting stories about jobs you've had or interviews you've had to do, then please let me know in the comments. I'll be really interested to hear about them. But yeah, I'm Tom. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.